Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. We're having a great day. As you can tell, we are in a new location right now. Well, at least the studio is changing. Stay tuned because there's so much I want to share with you guys that is in the works right now. Give me a little bit longer. I hope to have everything wrapped up in the next week. So stay tuned for all of the good stuff coming around the corner. Today, I really want to break down the news that Ford shared regarding the horsepower of the new Ford Mustang GTD. It's finally out there, and it's actually a number I think is pleasing, but also I didn't really guess correctly on it. We made a previous video kind of predicting what the new GTD would be at when it comes to the horsepower. I was guessing it would be closer to 900 horsepower. Ford announced it is 815 horsepower with 660 pound-feet of torque, which means it's a good 55 more horsepower than a standard Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. The reason why I want to talk about today in this video is not to really go over the news so much that you would see out there online, but I need to break down why horsepower is relevant but also not relevant to a lap time. Many people think to find out how fast a car is, it is solely predicted by the horsepower that the engine is producing. Well, today in this video, we're going to break down the engineering and the physics behind how cars can be much faster than higher horsepower cars if they were raced side by side. We're going to find out in today's episode. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Austin. Welcome back to the Speed Phenom YouTube channel, and let's get straight to it. I remember when I got into the Shelby GT500 Super Snake and I went on the racetrack, I thought that was the fastest car ever. It sure felt like it with 1,000 horsepower. Corner after corner, this thing was thrilling. It was scary, actually, and I was thrown back in my seat. However, I come to find out after the fact that the lap times weren't actually that quick. Don't get me wrong, it was extremely fast. It was out of this world on straightaways. However, the lap times didn't match up. There's more to it than horsepower. I found by getting behind the wheel of the GT350 and the GT350R, I was actually faster on the racetrack with half the horsepower. And do you know why? Obviously, grip plays a massive effect in this formula. You need a car that has super sticky tires with a great contact patch that just wants to stick and keep going. At the same time, what really makes cars fast, at least from my experience over the years, testing out many different vehicles on the racetrack and off, is the balance. The balance of a vehicle can be a proper predictor of how far you're willing to take it. If a car is very well balanced, you'll get behind the wheel and feel trusted. You'll feel like you have faith behind the wheel of the car. You know exactly what your inputs will do, and you can predict every reaction that you get from your steering column inputs. This is what happens when you get into a good balanced track car. When you're inside of a vehicle that's got an insane amount of horsepower, and you can put an insane amount of horsepower in relatively anything. Let's look at a Tesla Model S Plaid. Now, take that Plaid on the same street condition setup that you would run your 9-second quarter mile in, then go onto the racetrack like Laguna Seca or other courses around the country. Are you going to feel like you were as fast as a 9-second car should be on the racetrack? You would think, wow, if I can pull a 9-second quarter mile on every single straightaway, that must mean that this lap time will be seconds faster than, let's say, a Porsche 911 GT3. The normal driver, they may be even faster in the Porsche, may even significantly faster. It's because of the balance. It's within the corners is where you find your lap times. And this has been a real shocker to me over the years because I didn't realize this. Now, when you consider a lap time, what makes you fast, what makes you clock a quick time that's seconds faster than somebody else, is by keeping momentum. When you have momentum, you don't need to try to pick up more speed, change the gears more, and carry out faster out of an apex. Once you learn what momentum is on the racetrack, you know that if I can hold momentum, I don't need to spend as much time decelerating. I don't need to spend as much time getting a vehicle pitched in towards the apex. I don't need to spend as much time staying on full throttle to carry as much speed as I would be if I brought myself into the corner a little bit faster. This changes the game. And I find for my lap times too, if I'm just smoother and I maybe break even earlier towards a corner, I could be seconds faster than a really insane lap where I'm full throttle as soon as I could be full throttle, and I'm slamming on the brakes at the very last second, trying to wrestle the vehicle into the corner. You don't find your lap times there. You need to be smooth. Why is smooth fast? Because you're keeping momentum. When you're smooth, you're able to drag and pitch that speed into every corner and then release it while tracking all the way out. This leads me to the Mustang GTD. I know we went to a big history lesson just now, but I've been reading comments online from people saying it must not be fast. It must not be as fast as the new Lamborghini Temerario or the Corvette ZR1 over the horizon, simply because it has 815 horsepower. The Porsche GT2 RS set the Nürburgring record. It's faster than the 911 992 GT3 RS. It has over 600 horsepower. Does it have 800 horsepower? No. Does it have 1,000 horsepower? No. How can it be so fast? Balance. Why is the AMG GT Black Series so fast? It's got a lot of horsepower, but it's not too much. When you throw too much horsepower into your engine, you may fight and struggle to put down the power. I know when I used to track my Shelby GT500 Super Snake, it struggled at times getting onto the power while tracking out. So much so, you have to finely tune your right foot. Now imagine it's your right foot, you're going really fast, you have G-forces, and you can feel the force everywhere, right? Now imagine going into a corner, braking late, trying to wrap and turn the whole car in while maintaining such a smooth and precise modulation of, let's say, 25% throttle. Any bump or dip or forces of nature that may impact your right foot to tap forward, down, or release could upset the balance of your car. And when the balance of your car is upset, that's when the tires break out, and that's when you lose track time with lap speed. I think it's important to create a car that has an amazing amount of horsepower, but is not too much. The amount of horsepower where you get behind the wheel, this can scare me. However, I can manage it on corner exit. If you have too much torque, too much power, and it comes on too fast, you may not even be able to go full throttle exiting corners until you're perfectly straight. Can you imagine that? No. That's why 815 horsepower could be an engineered number. They could have specifically engineered this Mustang GTD to have 815 horsepower to put down a fast lap time at the Nürburgring. We all know that the GT500s can take a lot more power than they run in standard form. If you do that, if you make a drag racing setup almost out of your supercharged GT500 and you bore out the supercharger and do all sorts of upgrades, does it really make it faster for a lap time? I don't know. Plus, when you have more power, you have to deal with more cooling, and cooling adds weight. I think it's important to really understand there's more to the dimensions of a fast car than simply a spec sheet number that you read. We're kind of bred over the years and got into this learned mindset that the only way to compare cars is based off the amount of horsepower it has and the 0 to 60. Also, quarter mile times. I've learned over the years testing on all these cars that you've seen on the channel, and it's been really fun trying to share all this buyer knowledge and in-person insights that I'm able to get with these videos so people can see that there's more to the numbers. There's the experience. And that's what makes cars like the GT350 so special, the sounds they make. That's what makes cars like the 750S so special, or the Corvette Z06, alongside the Lamborghini STO. Is it as fast as a SVJ? No, it's not. Is it the fastest car down the quarter mile? No. Imagine managing 1,000 horsepower on the Nürburgring. It could be very hard, especially in some of those challenging corners. To give you another piece of experience that I've learned, when I usually get behind the wheel of a car with less horsepower, I'm able to carry more speed in the corners because everything is not changing at rapid pace. For example, if I'm in the 750S and I'm going full throttle, it's accelerating beyond fast, it's a 9-second car on the street. I get to a corner and I need to scrub off speed, but I need to put in more effort with the brake pedal to scrub off speed. It's easier to scrub off too much speed than it is when you have a lower horsepower car. It's because with a lower horsepower car, you can lightly brake because you're not going as fast and precisely keep momentum to an easier margin, an easier degree to manage than a higher horsepower car because you're not having to slow down as much and wrestle it into the line you want to take. That's why I think this new Mustang GTD could be very fast. And I don't agree with the comments of, oh, it's only 50 horsepower more than a Shelby GT500. Must not be worth the price or it's not that good. You could say I'm biased because I got the allocation for one. However, maybe that's a good reason to listen to my thoughts because I'm willing to spend that kind of money to get it, to show you what it can do. I am pretty confident in my thoughts on it. I want to know your comments down below. Please let me know, do you think 815 horsepower is enough? Also, do you need 1,000 horsepower like the Corvette ZR1 to be fast around the racetrack? Will this GTD be slower than the Corvette ZR1? I want to know your thoughts. So please let us know down below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It really help me out. And subscribe for much more great content coming out your way. While you do that, hit the notification bell. It should update with all the new videos coming out. I'll see you in the next one.